What's up, Taiwan? Good evening. I'm Leslie Liao with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. China continued military exercises surrounding Taiwan on Friday, a reaction to a visit by U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Taiwan's defense ministry said Chinese military planes and ships crossed the median line of the Taiwan Strait. The line is an unofficial buffer dividing the waterway between China and Taiwan. China's military on Friday said it conducted air and sea drills to the north, southwest, and east of Taiwan. It also promised further countermeasures. Beijing said it would be sanctioning Pelosi and her immediate family in response to what they called her vicious and provocative actions. Taiwan has condemned China's launch of multiple missiles into waters around the country. It says China's actions are threatening Taiwan's national security, escalating regional tensions, and affecting regular international traffic and trade. It also accused Beijing of imitating North Korea in test-firing missiles into waters near other countries, as Louise Watt reports.
Taiwan on high alert. Its air force taking to the skies as Chinese forces kicked off unprecedented military drills around the island. China said they involved more than 100 planes, including fighter jets and bombers, and more than 10 warships. It also fired multiple missiles into waters off Taiwan. The foreign ministry accused Beijing of following the example of North Korea in test-firing missiles into waters near other countries, and said it was undermining regional peace.
我要强调，我们不会升高冲突，不会挑起争端。但我们会坚定地捍卫主权和国家安全，坚守民主自由的防线。
Japan said that 4 ballistic missiles likely passed over Taiwan, but Taiwan's defense ministry said they flew high into the atmosphere and constituted no threat to the country.
我觉得最重要的是，中共他要打击的是这个台湾的这个心理民心士气。
China's actions sparked outrage and a pledge to donate millions of US dollars by Robert Cao, the founder of one of Taiwan's and the world's biggest chip makers.
所以今天我宣布呢，将捐出30亿新台币，大约1亿美元，来协助加强国防。
On the streets of Taipei, it was business as usual, but there was a sense of uneasiness.
也是会有一些心理上的压力啦，就是说，其实两边这个没有对话已经很久了。那中国这边的军事的行动其实都一直有持续啦，所以我们也会担心有擦枪走火的一个状况。
这一次我个人觉得比较紧张啦，因为毕竟他们的那个围台的那个军演的范围太近了，又太多了，对，会比较紧张。
Indicative of the mood in the capital, the top downloaded app is one which gives the nearest location of air raid bunkers. The self-governing democracy has lived with the spectre of a Chinese invasion for decades, and the capital alone has more than 4,000 air raid shelters. China's military exercises are in response to a whirlwind visit by Nancy Pelosi, the US House Speaker. On Tuesday, she became the highest-level American official to visit Taipei in 25 years. A trip Beijing sees as a challenge to its claims over Taiwan's sovereignty. Pelosi has now finished her Asia tour and is heading back to the United States. But for now at least, it's Taiwan left to deal with the ongoing fallout. Klein Wong and Louise Watt for TaiwanPlus.
After visiting Taiwan, the U.S. House Speaker traveled to South Korea and then Japan. After meeting with Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida in Tokyo, she commented on the events that followed her visit to Taipei. Pelosi said the U.S. would not let China isolate Taiwan. Speaking at the U.S. Embassy on the last leg of her Asia trip, she also said the U.S. should not let commercial interests get in the way of speaking out on China's human rights issues, saying the country's treatment of its minority Muslim Uyghur population had been labeled a genocide. She emphasized that her trip to Asia was about maintaining the status quo.
You may be more interested in, again, the Chinese did while we were traveling, and we have said from the start that our representation here is not about changing the status quo here in Asia, changing the status quo of Taiwan. It's about, again, the Taiwan Relations Act, the U.S.-China policy, all of the pieces of legislation and agreements that have established what our relationship is, to have peace in the Taiwan Straits and to have the status quo prevail.
China's live fire drills have drawn strong words from the U.S. Secretary of State and his Southeast Asian counterparts. Antony Blinken said China's response to Pelosi's visit has taken dangerous acts to a new level.
The fact is, the speaker's visit was peaceful. There is no justification for this extreme, disproportionate, and escalatory military response. Let me say again that nothing has changed about our One China policy, which is guided by the Taiwan Relations Act, the 3 communiques, and the 6 assurances.
Blinken was speaking at a summit of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN. Other delegates called for restraint and warned that miscalculations could lead to, quote, serious confrontation. In a statement, the bloc said it stands ready to facilitate peaceful dialogue. The visit by U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to Taiwan prompted China to place import bans on some Taiwanese products. It's led the country's 9 big industrial and commercial business associations to jointly urge both sides of the Taiwan Strait to avert conflict. China is Taiwan's biggest export market and largest source of trade. The sanctions have impacted small businesses here, particularly those that export fruit. One company says it has lost over $166,000 from the recent bans. China's live fire drills, which kicked off on Thursday near Taiwan's coast, have brought some fishing ports to a standstill. But as John Van Trieste reports, coastal resorts are still booming, with some tourists even eager to check the drills out.
Donggang is a fishing town on Taiwan's southwest coast. Several miles out to sea sits one of China's live fire zones. Ballistic missiles are thought to have landed there, according to the Defense Ministry. The missile fire is part of Beijing's angry response to U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's recent trip to Taipei. Since live fire drills started on Thursday, fishing boats have been stuck in harbor. But while fishing has stopped, the town is still abuzz with activity. This town is the gateway to Xiaoliuqiu, an island just offshore that's a popular summer getaway. The ferry is still running, and long lines of tourists wait to get on board. Far from being scared off, some say they want to catch a glimpse of the action. And tourists already on the island say they have no plans to head home early. Souvenir stands and other tourist shops remain open. And so, for all but those who make their living from the sea, life on Taiwan's southern coast is going on as usual. John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
For the first time, drones are taking part in the annual Taitung International Balloon Festival near Taiwan's southeast coast. The display features 300 drones joined by 7 hot air balloons. The drones formed the shapes of popular cartoon characters, including Hello Kitty, to the delight of those watching. The festival at the Luye Highlands near Taitung City is now in its 12th year. This year's event kicked off in July and runs until August 15th. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, we leave you with images of the first lunar orbiter launched by South Korea. The Korea Pathfinder, nicknamed Danuri, aims to land a probe on the moon by 2030. I'm Liao. Take care and see you next time.